Hello everybody, welcome to my Tainted character tier list where I'm going to rank all of the Tainted characters on just how much I've enjoyed playing them. You know, my own personal experience. I'm not going to be ranking on any objective thing, just all my opinions. We're not doing who's strongest, who's best, just who I've had fun playing as the most. And I just for, just show you my resume, I have Dead God. I got all the completion marks with all the characters, so, I've played them a lot, basically. And I guess I should talk about what I really value in these Tainted characters. Since we're getting a whole, B-side of characters, I want these characters to really change how I approach the game. In a fun way. Or just be fun and satisfying in some way. Those are probably the top two things you're going to hear me praise characters for, that they change the game in this fun way, or they're just so satisfying to play as I want to keep playing as them. And we're going to hear me, bash some characters for is, yeah, they might have changed the game, but I don't like how they changed in this way. Or you're going to get boring characters who I either don't just hate how they changed the game and just think it's so boring, or they don't really add anything at all. And I made my own list on my other screen over here, I suppose, right before this video recorded, so I'm not going to be stumbling over my words going, where does Tainted Isaac go, when I already know Tainted Isaac is going to go in the amazing tier. And I'll talk about that in a second, but first, I have to do it. There's a fly. I didn't get it. We're not going to kill the fly. I gotta do my YouTuber duty of saying hit that subscribe button and ring the bell if they're not clicked. Alright, now that my contract with YouTube to say that is gone because I just said it, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's jump into the video. Just trying to make jokes, not working. Tainted Isaac, let's go. I like Tainted Isaac a lot. And by the way, I'm not going to make this video too long. We're going to try to keep all my thoughts quick and condensed to just the most important parts. So Tainted Isaac, he does change the way you approach the game. You only have 8 items. Every single item rotates between another item, and there's a lot of thought process behind this character that I love. You have to sit there and go, is X better than Y? And you got to figure out why is that. You can pretty much make your own synergies going like, oh, you know what? That item's better, but that would go good with what I have right here. And you only have 8 slots, which makes you also realize, wow, you only need 8 items to make this character pop off. Or any run pop off, I should just say. So to sit there and just choose and think about, like, I really need that, but what I have here is good. What can I exchange for that? It is just so much fun, and there's a lot of thought behind it, and he's amazing. Now we're going to go with Tainted Maggie. Tainted Maggie goes into the fine category. Maggie is really fun to play as in the early game, just running into enemies, getting hearts, just to plow through. It's a lot of fun. Later boss fights do become very boring or tedious or hard even, because you probably played the first half of the game by just running into enemies. Now you have to actually shoot your tears. What is this? That's how it feels when you get to the end game, which makes it so you can't prioritize items that help you bash into enemies. You still need to play, basic, get your tears up, get your damage up, which at that point leaves it so you're just playing a basic character that has weird HP. I think that's a good way to put it, I suppose. Because that's how I think of it. Like, honestly, when I get to a certain point in the game, usually around the womb, I never run into enemies, literally ever. And at that point, I'm just playing as a weird challenge character that only has 2 or 3 HP with birthrights. And there's just not too much value there. Early game's fine, and sacrifice of late game me ignoring her gimmick almost entirely for what I can ignore, because you can't ignore the health situation because it's health. And that's why they go in the fine category. Fun early game, boring to annoying late game, and just not the most fun at the end of the day. It's a trade-off for fun early game, boring late game. I've said that like 3 times now. Let's move on to T-Cain. T-Cain goes in the boring category. I like T-Cain's idea that you can craft anything, but as someone who plays Isaac on their PC, I'd rather open the console command and experiment that way. Because there's a few ways to play Tainted Cain. You can just go random, but at that point, play as any other character, who cares? And then you can specifically craft what you want. You can craft sometimes, then go random. You can do a lot of what you want, which is cool. different options. The only way I really enjoyed this character was on stream, and I'm convinced that if I never was a streamer or YouTuber and never was talking to chat while playing this character, I would not have fun meticulously looking at recipes, doing that. I still don't have fun doing that on stream sometimes, honestly. It's just the way you pick up items is so frustrating. If you need a bomb, it's next to a key, but you can't pick up the key because you need it for the next recipe, but you need the bomb now. You have to just slowly inch your way closer to the bomb and swipe it and just hope you got that one. And at the end of the day, I'd rather make a Conska man, because it kind of is cool to be like, oh, I have this item, let me craft this to make this run really work. At that point, open the Conska command. It's just not it's not fun to me. It takes so long. I know I'm not alone in this camp. I know there's a lot of huge supporters for this character as well. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts with Tainted Cain. Just boring, really. So let's move on to Tainted Judas and get the opposite of boring and very fun masterpiece character. Mwah. Now I did the what's it called? Tournament, I suppose, of what you guys thought your favorite characters were. So the fan favorite tournament, basically. Judas got second place. I understand why, but the only argument against Tainted Judas is, oh, he's only fun because he has dark arts. And to that I say, you're probably right, but dark arts is literally one of the most fun and satisfying items in the entire game. So to give a character dark arts from the get-go, I'm sorry, but that's just a really fun and satisfying character. The damage potential is through the freaking roof. You can literally you could probably win a T Judas run without any items if you just get dark arts. I wouldn't even be shocked if you could do that. It's just so fun. It's fun and satisfying. That's all there is to it. So now we're gonna get to Blue Baby, and this is the time I gotta say I got some hot takes. If you've seen my videos or streams, you've expected some my hot takes to come out, I'm sure. So here's what I've seen from people about Blue Baby. They think he's gross. They hate his, terrible tier rate to start out. His DPS is just bad. He's disgusting. They don't like the poop mechanic. They just don't like the poop mechanic. And I hate to say this, but it really seems like a lot of people refuse to learn the poop mechanic or just somehow don't see its value. Because literally you can tank so many bosses with just your poops alone. And it's so powerful, kind of satisfying and fun to use. You don't get bombs, which people also hate, but you can get so many more bombs than you could on a normal run. You can make your own bomb with the right combination of poop. You have a jar you can hold poop in. He's so strong, has so much potential. The mechanics, honestly, top tier. And people don't like it, and that actually blows my mind. I've ranted about this before, so I won't keep ranting. He's a great character, great. So why isn't he an amazing or masterpiece, you ask? Well, he's not in masterpiece because I think the characters above him are just more of a masterpiece than him. He's not an amazing because he is gross. Honestly, I hate looking at him. And that's gonna be enough to make me bump him down to amazing to great. It is, I'm sorry. That's the reasoning. That's all I gotta say about Blue Baby that I haven't said before. Eve is fine. Eve's a fine character. So their damage, they probably have the biggest damage potential of any character in Isaac. The more clots you get, holy crap, you can steamroll some floors, bosses, what have you. The reason I don't like Eve is because, A, it's too easy to lose the blood clots, which it's probably balanced that way. But it's so unsatisfying to just go into a boss room, having that boss clear up all your blood clots, then you realize, oh, this run was only good because of the clots, and now this sucks. That's not a fun realization. And you have to play as if you have chocolate milk, because you got to keep tapping the button is what I mean. Because you don't want to lose all your health, obviously. You always want to have a certain, at least the way I play, I always want to have a certain amount of blood clots on, and I reserve, my last 2 hearts or whatever. And I never suck up my blood clots. I just don't. Maybe it's a flaw in how I play, but it's just, the character has potential, but in execution, I don't have a fun time. And I've had a lot of runs with all these characters. More often than not, I don't have the best time with Eve. And that's just the sad reality of it. More sad realities is that I don't like Tainted Samson that much. Tainted Samson, Tainted Salmon, the homeless man, whatever you want to call him. He's not my most fun character to play as. I love early game. Honestly, actually, now that I think about it, my complaints for Samson's like the same as Maggie. Very fun early game. I love Berserk mode. I love running up close to them. You can actually live if you lose HP, if you can run back and get health real quick. I love to see how long I can keep Berserk mode alive. That's really fun, which actually makes me realize I like him more than these two. And I think I like Maggie more than Eve. Yeah, they can go back and forth. Anyway. Berserk mode's so much fun. Later on, you get in the levels, it seems like Berserk mode happens like that, like that, like that. I love the item Berserk. I don't love how it's incorporated with Samson. I don't like forced close range. You know, like, I'm not the biggest fan of regular Azazel because I hate the close range. And with Samson, you know, by the time you're going to kill Delirium, Ultra Greedier, you're going to get into Berserk mode just so quickly. And you don't want to, and it's not fun. Fun early game, not fun later game. And speaking of close range, but not close range, you got your boy Azazel. He goes in the good tier. Spoiler alert, he's the only character going in good tier. I just realized I needed a separation, because I think he's good. He's not fine, he's not great, he's good. So the complaint with Azazel is he's boring, he's lazy. I don't necessarily think he's lazy. Don't think he's boring. He's just a fun, strong character. He's good. He's pretty much the opposite of Azazel. You know, long but skinny, brimstone. He can also sneeze, which I rarely take advantage of, mostly because I just forget. But there's not much to Azazel. He is kind of basic. He's just a brimstone boy, really. The Brimstone has a lot of cool, fun synergies now, and he's a good character to just plow through the game real quick, have some fun. No problems with him, no huge highlights. He's the definition of average in my eyes. Here is the second hot take of the video. Lazarus is great. Tainted Lazarus is great. Here's why I think he's great. Actually, here's why people don't like him. People don't like him because they say he's a challenge character with none of the fun. I disagree. People hate how you have to split up items, and it just seems so unbalanced and just hard and just boring and not fun. I hear ya. I'm not going to argue that. I completely respect that opinion. Unlike the Blue Baby opinion, I respect this one. I think it's very fun to build two different builds, kind of like with, you know, regular Jacob and Esau. So I love the character for that alone. And also, this character is honestly very strategic. You have to think a lot when you play this character. All of my runs with this character have been like over an hour, I swear. Which, yes, made Boss Rush and Hush a nightmare to get to. But, this is why it's fun. First of all, if you've seen my videos on it, this is probably the 10th millionth time you've heard it. And honestly, the best way for you to visualize and see my thoughts is to watch those videos. Just look up any T-Laz video on my channel, I suppose. But it's fun to divvy up items. It's fun to think about what you're going to do. I like him for the pure thought process side of it. You gotta be, okay, I need this heart, but this one has this, so he needs that item. Okay, that one has more damage, so you gotta give that to him. And it's fun to pick and choose. And yeah, I've had a lot of crappy runs with this character. I've had probably more failures than successes. But when you freaking get a victory with Tainted Lazarus, and one of those Lazarus like has no health, no items, they suck, and the other one does, or it's just not a good run, when you can beat a run with Tainted Lazarus, that's one of the most satisfying feelings ever. Pretty much on par with, you know, getting a Tainted Lost victory with, as far as I'm concerned. I have the most incredible underdog stories with his character. Like, straight up. He's just so satisfying to pull off, and yeah, he's got a lot of problems, I suppose. I'll say he's got some problems, because it's so hard to get it going from the start. But once you get him going, even if it's not a great run, it's fun to see how it ends, because you do have double the health. You do. People hate that argument, but you do. And he's strategic, fun. He's a slow burn, but he's a fun slow burn. That's what I think about Tainted Lazarus. I can go all day if you want to stay for the hour-long Tainted Lazarus rant. It could happen. But we're gonna move on. Tainted Eden. He's a fine character. I like Tainted Eden a lot. Literally, I don't mind getting re-rolled every hit. I think that's fun, zany, what have you. I don't like the HP situation. I don't take items out of the Devil Deal or Curse Room pool. You don't want Mom's or just Curse Die, and you don't want 9 lives. You can just get hit and you can lose all your health. You can gain too much health, so your spirit hearts go away. Literally change the health situation on T. Eden. He goes from fine to great, in my opinion. But his health situation just sucks. It just does. So he goes to fine. Now we get Tainted Lost. He goes in great. I'll put him above, in between Lazarus and Blue Baby, because I think that's where he sits, in my opinion. I like him more than regular Lost. I don't mind the Holy Mantle situation with, holy cards. I think it's a fun, good challenge. And I really hate when I see comments or whatever on stream, when I walk into an item room, I see like a whiz shot or something, people go like, oh yeah, better items. Literally 9 times out of 10, my runs with T Lost are overpowered, and you do get better items. Always having perfection by your side is a lot of fun. And yeah, it's scary. The iframes with the Holy Mantle are kind of knocking down a peg in my mind. Like, up those iframes, he might be an amazing. I'm not sure yet. But the only reason why he's not an amazing at the moment is I just like the characters above him more. I could probably go for switching him and Blue Baby, but I think I'd rather play as Blue Baby right now than T Lost. But T Lost, he's just a good, fun challenge character that can get overpowered pretty quickly. So now we're going to move on to T Lilith. T Lilith doesn't have a whole lot of explanation to her. She's an amazing character. Fun, kind of like Judas with Dark Arts. Fun, satisfying, whip your baby. That's it. Fun, satisfying, strong. I don't know if I need to say more, honestly. That's just how it is. T Keeper is the definition of changing the game of how you play. Coins fall, to replenish yourself, high risk, high reward, basically. Shops are insane. Most every run with this character is gonna be OP. Gonna be a lot of fun. Pulling off a victory with this guy is so much fun. High risk, high reward, skip item rooms, get planetarium, get millions of things in the shop, do it all over again. He's a lot of fun, really changes a lot, and does a lot for me with playing this game. So much fun. I can go on for another minute, but you guys get the point. You guys like Tainted Keeper. You want the fan favorite poll I was doing. So let's go from riches to rags, I guess. Apollyon, he's my second least favorite. Spoiler alert, Cain's my least favorite. Apollyon, he feels so lazy to me. It feels like they're like, what do we do? I don't know, give him a best, make attack flies? Should we make him different? No, we don't got time. It's just boring. That's it. He's strong. He's okay to play as, but Abyss is just so boring. He feels bland to me. Let's go to my favorite now. Spoiler. Tainted Forgotten's my favorite. He also changes the game how you play a lot, just like T Keeper. But he changes it in the most... I don't know about the most different, but the most different way that I like. Is going to change how you approach every single room. He's strong, fun, satisfying first of all. And just moving around, getting your bone guy, really makes you think of how you approach every single room differently. With like T Keeper, you still have that a little bit, but not nearly as much with T Forgotten, because every single room is kind of like a new puzzle in a sense. That's how I look at T Forgotten. Just fun. The only downside, the one thing stopping me from like making the Forgotten its own tier of God tier, is he needs more synergies. He needs more things that combining with his club, because that makes the core mechanic of getting items and synergies kind of fall out of that character. But I love playing as him. Don't know if I've had a run where I hated him. He's just so much fun. Changes so much. Now we have Bethany. Bethany goes into amazing tier. I'll put her at the top of amazing tier, I think. Lamegton's fun. I love how her health works. You stack up on red hearts. You go into a cursed room, a devil deal secret room. Spam that, you're OP. Fun. I don't know if there's more to say. Lamegton's just fun. Spam those items and just have a ball. You can just make crazy crap happen out of literal thin air. And you can be in trouble 1 second and then God tier next second. And the wisps don't necessarily just disappear like Eve's blood clots. Like if Eve's blood clots stayed around more like Bethany's Lamegton, Eve probably would be in great tier, not amazing tier. But Bethany's just so fun and satisfying to pull off. Alright, here's your big boy, Tainted Jacob. He goes in the fine tier, probably at the top of the fine tier. Listen to this. If these changes that I'm about to say happen, Jacob goes from fine to my favorite. but it's not, and it makes him so frustrating and not fun. I almost made him his own tier. Oh, sorry. I got my keyboard in my hand. I clicked enter or something. So basically, this is the deal with Tainted Jacob, right? I love the idea of dodging Esau. That's like the number one thing that's going to change how you play the game. I don't mind being turned into the Lost upon getting touched by Esau. That's fine. It's a fun challenge. Every room is going to be so insane, and every room's a freaking puzzle. It's hard. It's going to be a fun character, right? That's not what the character is. That's what the character should be. What the character is how good can you play as the Lost without Holy Mantle? Because you know what's going to happen 9 times out of 10? Esau's going to die, and you're going to be like, what even killed him? You're going to go into boss rush and be like, I haven't hit this guy like more than 3 times this entire floor. We can definitely do boss rush. He lived through at least most of it. And then suddenly he's going to die off screen or dash into you off screen. And it's just going to be like, come on. Not fair, not fun. That's what 90% of my Esau runs are. There has to be some difference there. Maybe Esau doesn't die until you become the Lost. I don't know. Because I do like how Esau can die, because I love playing with Anima Sola by itself. So strong, so powerful. Really helps you get through floors as the Lost. Which is why I don't mind being turned into the Lost. Fun challenge with the benefit of Anima Sola. But the game becomes, oh, Esau died again? Great. Not fun. But I've had a lot of fun victories with him, so he goes into a fine tier as opposed to below it, and he still has a lot of potential with those reworks, and that's the character tier list. I try to make this not go on too long. Been about 22 minutes. I hope that all made sense. I know I definitely have some different opinions than a lot of you guys, but I hope my thought process really is understood, I suppose, is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know. I don't usually make videos where I just talk like this. I usually just play the game. But yeah, that's all my opinion, man. It's just what I think of the game. I respect all of your opinions, unless you hate Blue Baby for the poop mechanic. Then we're gonna have to sell that in the boxing ring. Either way, I hope you all enjoy. And if you skip to the end of the video, you're probably sitting here going like, "This makes no sense." So to that I say, watch the video, I suppose, before you comment at least. Anyway, it's been fun. I'll see y'all later. Feel free to subscribe. Peace out.